like to start today's segment with a special thank you to all of our volunteers that came out last Saturday to support the Sylacauga Animal Shelter and the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. We were able to get all the dogs out for walks on Saturday, and we're walking again this Saturday from 11 to 1, so if you're available, please come out and help us get all those dogs out of the shelter. We also had a very successful adoption event at PetSense, so thank you again to PetSense for allowing us to have an adoption event there. We adopted out 5 cats, and we had 2 of our dogs that were there, and one of them got picked up by a shelter in Florida. So there's a rescue in Florida that saw lots of pictures of Kimberly, and a lot of the volunteers have been doing videos of her. She's been in and out of a foster home, so we've got lots of information about her, and she was able to, now it's going to be next week, she'll be able to go to a home in Florida. So we're very excited to have found her a home, and thanks again to all the volunteers that came out. Now we've got a very special guest today. We have TV47's very own Randy Clark, the host of Randy's Corner. Randy is on the, he's on the board of directors for the Beautification Council. He is also a key contributor to litter pickup opportunities around Sylacauga. I'd say you are the prime person to go to if we need to pick up litter.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, and Randy's also one of the founding members of the Sylacauga Pickleball Club. And we got a picture up of you right there.
Right.
He's also the recipient of the first ever Halloween costume contest. So he won that last night with his construction outfit with the pickleball group. So
great group of folks.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yes, and we grow more and more every week. And I must say, we got to give Dr. Jonathan Douglas credit for this, because he's the one that got us all started, and it has just blown up like you wouldn't believe. And it's a family-oriented sport, what I like about it. We also have kids' night on Tuesday nights. And I know Jonathan has his hands full over there. We try to go over there and help him, but it is just a little bit beyond chaos.
I bet.
Yes,
and it looked like those kids loved wearing their costumes last night.
Oh, they had a blast last night. And it was such a great time. I'm honored. I don't know how my costume got chose, but I thank all of them for that. And we probably had 70 plus people last night. And I'm going to say 40 of us had costumes on, so it was
That's great. I bet that was a wonderful time.
Right, it was a wonderful time.
Now, Randy also is one of the volunteers for the Marble Festival each year. And because of that, you are going to be participating in a part of the fall pilgrimage that's happening. So the Alabama Historical Association has chosen Sylacauga for the short pilgrimage. So that's this weekend, October 27th and 28th. So you're going to be out at Gants Quarry.
I am.
So
at the lookout point.
That'll be perfect. Now, that is Saturday.
Right.
So Friday, we've got, the pilgrimage actually starts at Purcell Farms. There'll be a lunch and a presentation there. And then after that, from 3 to 4, we've got tours of the Sylacauga Cemetery. We've got tours of the First Baptist Church. And the senior pastor, Rick Patrick's going to be there and telling all about the historical stained glass windows. And then we've got a wonderful group out at the Sylacauga Cemetery. We've got some volunteers that are out there. We've got actors that are portraying the parts of some of Sylacauga's history that's up there. So that should be fun.
That should be a lot of fun. And I also, Tarp, if I can, I'm going to be out there Friday too.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
so when will you be at Gants Quarry on Friday?
I'll be out there at the lookout point. I want to be there when the guests go to Purcell's and they come back to town in case they want to go ahead and get that tour. So I'm going to be out there Friday too.
Oh, good.
But I will be leaving in time to come to the library.
Okay, that's perfect. And so we've got the, and we got a picture of the fall pilgrimage right on the screen there. So you can see that at 5 o'clock on Friday at the library, we're having Dr. Wayne Flint. He's given one of his talks about ordinary people, extraordinary lives, Alabama history from the bottom up. And then immediately following his talk, there's a reception at the library. So we've got a jazz band, we've got painting demonstrations by Frank Murphy. Frank is, he's from here, and he's one of our sculptors at the Marble Festival every year. So he'll be there painting because he does beautiful paintings as well. And you can have the art tour there at the library, and you can see some of Frank's sculptures and some of the sculptures from the Marble Festival, some paintings there at the library. So we've got some beautiful art there at the library that people can enjoy touring and seeing.
We do.
And then Saturday, that's a big day too.
Saturday, 8 a.m. is coffee, muffins, book sales, local history displays. This is going to be at the Comer Library too. And at 8:30, the K-12 teacher workshop, Alabama history in the classroom with Dr. Hayden McDaniel, Alabama Department of Archives and History. And then at 10 o'clock, a local history program. And at 11:30, there'll be a buffet lunch. And then 12:30 to 4:30, we're going to have tours on your own. All the guests can go. We got so many places that they can go to. So much history in Sylacauga. And you know, can I name these for just?
Absolutely.
Okay, Downtown Revitalization Walking Tour. It departs from the library at 1 o'clock and will last approximately 1 hour. Go to Emery's Gantz Marble Quarry Observation Point.
That's where you'll be.
Yes, and Isabel Anderson Comer Museum and Art Center, Cracker Brown Marble Artist Demonstration, Rising Star Baptist Church, First Baptist Church, Sylacauga Cemetery, and the Civil War Trail. And you know, Tara, one thing I'd like to say, Dr. Ted and Dr. Shirley Spears, they have done so much for Sylacauga. And you know, I know that Auburn picks this randomly, and Sylacauga is so lucky to have this going on this Friday and Saturday. And I want to give them credit because not only in conjunction with the Brown Bag Series, but they do so much. And
we couldn't do all this without the library and Tracy Thomas and all those wonderful the staff members at the library, what they've been able to put together for this.
Right.
So.
And we are so lucky this is going on Friday and Saturday. And this is not just for visitors out of town. We want everybody in the community. Come on out there to the quarry, and I'm going to give you a history about Gantz Quarry. If I can tell one little story quick. And this came from our speaker last week at the Brown Bag Series. She had a whistle with her. And she was telling, that was the way they communicated back in the day at Gantz Quarry. They had a big whistle out. It not only told the guys when to go to work, when to go to lunch, but it also told the community what was going on. You know, she had that whistle, and they had a certain number of blows, and either a short blow or a long blow for different things. But one of the things that interested me was talking about, you know, now we have the way they get the rock, you know, is different than the way they done it back then. I don't think they exactly knew what a piece of dynamite was going to do back during the day. And so they had a certain number of blows. And the school kids, they knew they blasted every day after school. That way the kids would be at their homes and they could put them inside. Well, she had a story. You know, most of the ones at the Gantz Quarry have passed on now, but she was able to get some of the stories of some of the ladies and gentlemen that was kids back in the day. And they told the story about what they used to do. They'd have a certain number of blasts before they blowed up the marble. And like I said, they did it every day after school. But anyway, they were supposed to go inside and take cover. But she said a little thing that the kids done, they loved staying outside because all the little marble chips would blow everywhere. So, you know, we had instances where big pieces of marble blowed in some of the houses. And you know, like I said, it's controlled today, but I thought that was interesting because she said, we didn't go inside, we run to the store and we'd be outside. So.
And I bet it was an exciting place to grow up with things like that going on around there.
Some of the stories you hear, you can just feel the love that went on in that community. It was really
Yeah.
great.
So be sure to come out this weekend and talk to Randy at Gantz Quarry. To participate in all the events, it's free. If you're going to go to Purcell and have the lunch there, you do have to register. So there is a registration fee to have the lunch there, and then the lunch at the library on Saturday. You also pay for that, but everything else is free to anyone coming around to observe and to learn a lot about Sylacauga history.
Right.
So
It's going to be a great time.
I think it will be.
It's not only for our visitors, but like I said, the local people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people lives here in Sylacauga that don't know all these things.
I know, and it's
you
very-
know, the cemetery. You mentioned the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been working on it, cleaned up. Everybody has. It took a bunch of people but you can stand up there and just kind of use your imagination and imagine what it was like, because it kind of overlooks Sylacauga. And it's a great feeling to be up there. So
It is.
we got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And my guest yesterday was Dana Duhale. She was telling me some stories about the Rising Star Baptist Church.
They've got a lot of history there.
That's
so,
included
Yeah,
in there.
don't forget to drive out there. They're on Quarry Road, so or Park Street, whatever you call it, on that
Right.
side of 280. So they're right out there, and they've got some wonderful history and some tours they're doing there.
It's going to be a great 2 days.
Now, we are almost running out of time, but this is Pet Connect. And I had Randy on here because he has raised hunting dogs in the
Yes.
past. So give us just a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about hunting dogs, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the shelter before we go.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say about hunting dogs, there's a misconception about hunting dogs. Hunting dogs is a sport. You know, a lot of people think because you keep the hunting dogs in a pen that, you know, this, that, and the other, but this is not true. You keep them put up so they won't run off, because these dogs are trained. Some dogs are raised for the sport of hunting, such as bird dogs and rabbit dogs, and I had deer dogs, and I've had a few rabbit dogs. But let me tell you one thing about these dogs. Like I said, they're part of your family. Anything that you feed and water every day is just like your family. It's no different than having a pet inside, but they are for sport. So I don't want people to think, you know, bad things about hunting dogs, because that's not true. Let me tell you, you know, you got your 1% in everything you do, you know. So, but overall, hunting dogs is great. I had hunting dogs for 20 years. I don't have many more, but we kind of run out of places to hunt. Before all the hunting clubs, we used to have a blast. You know, back when it was Kimberly Clark, we could pay $30 and have 486,000 acres to hunt on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, we didn't use
That's a
all
lot of
those,
land, yeah.
But, you know, you could, but anyway, it was a great time, and I got a lot of friends that still have hunting dogs. And like I say, bird dogs, rabbit dogs, deer dogs, we just got dogs for everything. And
that's something to think about when adopting a dog is that, you know, hunting dogs, they do like to have a job.
Yes.
And they do like to have a lot of exercise. So
Oh, yes.
you got to know, if you're going to adopt a hunting dog breed, that you're going to want to give it some opportunities
Exactly.
to have some of that outlet, that hunting
Right.
outlet, or to have some of that energy out.
Exactly, exactly. You know, I'll tell one quick story right quick. I know we're running out of time, but my youngest daughter, back in the day when I had all hunt, I think I had maybe 11 or 12 hunting dogs at this time. And she had a little program at school, and they asked her to name her family. Well, the first one she named was all the dogs. She had a name for every one of them, and then she named her family. So don't think that hunting dogs aren't part of your family, which they are.
And that's good, because, you know, our pets do become such a part of our family.
They
So
are.
it's
They
nice
are.
that
They
she
are.
was thinking of the hunting dogs
She
that way
was.
too. Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. We'll have to have you on and talk more about hunting dogs.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we've got a dog right up on the screen here. This is Otto. Otto is about a year old, and he is just a precious dog. So I thought I'd make him our available pet of the week. So Otto is, he's heartworm negative, and he will He's had all of his shots, and all he'll have to do is get fixed before he can go to a home. But if you're interested in him, please come out to the shelter to meet him. He's become kind of a volunteer favorite, and he's definitely one of Jonathan's favorites, so he keeps threatening to bring the dog home. So we're going to find Otto a home, and he is just a sweet, sweet dog, so please go out and meet him. And then a little feel-good story. This is Goose. Goose has been at the shelter for almost a year, and somebody came and said they'd like to foster him and a potential foster to adopt. And he's been doing great in their household. So he is an example of a dog that's been in a kennel for almost a year and getting very tired of it. But the minute he got out and they got him into a good environment at their home, he has just moved right in with their family.
Doesn't he look happy laying
He looks
there?
super happy laying
Yeah.
there. That's so much better than a kennel. And you look happy right there.
I
We're
was
going to end
happy.
with Randy
Yeah,
out there in
I'm
his
happy
costume.
today.
So thank you for joining us for Pet Connect, and thank you, Randy, so
Thank you
much
so
for coming
much.
on the show and for everything you do for the community. We're lucky to have you here.
Oh.
And we'll
Thank
have you back
you.
on.
Sylacauga's Woman of the Year.
Well, it was an honor to get that. But please join us next week on Pet Connect, and please join us this weekend, either or both, at Walking Dogs at the Shelter on Saturday from 11 to 1, and also at the Fall Pilgrimage Friday and Saturday. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages.